Alamin ang mga mainit na balita mula sa ating Armed Forces. Tumutok sa 1134 kHz AM sa inyong mga radyo at manood online. I-like at i-share ang AFP Radio DWDD Facebook page. Ito ang DWDD Armed Forces Radio, ang boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Mga katropa, alam mo ba na ang DWDD 1134 kHz AFP Radio ay ang opisyal na radio station ng Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas na binubuo ng Army, Navy at Air Force na siyang maghahatid sa inyo ng mga balita mula sa ating Armed Forces at iba pang impormasyon. Mga katropa, hanapin at ilike kami sa Facebook, Twitter at YouTube. DWDD AFP Radio, ang boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.
Mga katropa, para lagi kang updated sa ating Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas, siguraduhin naka-like at follow ka sa AFP Radio DWDD Facebook page at syempre na nakatunin ka sa 1134 kHz AFP DWDD. Panoorin ang weekly documentary program ng AFP Radio na Ang Inyong Kawal tuwing Sabado yan, 8 p.m. at ito ay nakasimulcast sa Ang Iyong Kawal Facebook at YouTube channel. Ayan po. And of course, sa ating mga kasundaluhan, keep up the good work. And sa team, keep up the good work po sa Media and Civil Affairs Group, CRS-AFP. Maraming salamat po sa inyo. Sergeant Colleen Nicole Borgoña here, or most commonly known as Colleen Perez. Saludo po ako.
Karapatan ng bawat Pilipino.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Ito ang inyong Armed Forces. Palatuntunang nagtatampok sa Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas. Nagbibigay daan sa serbisyo ng sundalong Pilipino. Ito ang inyong Armed Forces. Kilalanin ang mga kawal na naglilingkod sa bayan dito sa programang nagbibigay daan sa bawat panig ng katotohanan. Ito ang inyong Armed Forces.
Visayas at Mindanao, mapagpalang hapon sa ating mga taga-subaybay at tagapakinig sa ating pong himpilan ng radyo. At kayo po ay patuloy na nakatutok sa DWDD 1134 kHz, ang inyo pong Armed Forces Radio, ang boses ng Kawal Pilipino. Mga babayan, oras sa pulungan at 3 minutos makalipas ang alas 4 ng hapon at muli pong sumasayang papawid ang programang magpapakilala at maghatid ng impormasyon sa ating Sandatahang Lakas ng Pilipinas. Ito po ang inyong Armed Forces. At ako po yung lingkod, Airman First Class Glanley Matula Gulchan ng Philippine Air Force, ay makakasama po ninyo sa loob ng isang oras para sa ating programang ang inyong Armed Forces. Mga babayan, ngayon po ay araw ng Lunes, ika-14 ng buwan ng Oktubre taong kasalukuyan at muli po ninyong makakasama para po sa isang edisyon ng ating programa. At isa naman po sa mga hanay ng ating pong Armed Forces of the Philippines, ang ating pong makikilala at ating pong makakasama ngayon live ang ating mga guests, ang ating pong mga opisyales ng ating pong Armed Forces of the Philippines upang magatid sa atin ng mga kaalaman at impormasyon patungkol sa mandato na isinusulong ng hanay na ating pong makakapanayam ngayong hapon. Kaya mababayan sa mga tropa natin na nakikinig at nakatabang ngayon sa ating himpilan ng radyo sa DWDD 1134 kHz sa AM at live na live po tayo napapanood sa ating Facebook Live sa AFP Radio DWD Facebook page at AFP Virtual TV sa ating namang YouTube channel. Maba, hindi na po dyan dahil tayo po simulcast na napapakinggan sa ating mga radio station partners nationwide. Mapa Luzon, Visayas at Mindanao man. Tayo po napapakinggan sa DZTZ Radio Pilipino Tarlac, 91.1 FM Galaxy Radio, DZTZ 828 kHz AM naman, dyan naman po sa Tarlac mga kababayan. At hindi lang po dito dahil tayo rin po napapakinggan dyan po sa mga tropa natin na nakabantay sa West Philippine Sea sa pamagitan ng ating 42nd Communication Electronics Information Services ng ating pong Armed Forces of the Philippines. Sa Baguio, Mindoro naman, tayo po napapakinggan sa DWDP 106.9 Tropang Pinoy FM. Hindi naman magpapahuli mga katropa nating mga Oragon, dyan po sa Camarines Sur, sa Baging Kabikulan, tayo po napapakinggan sa 94.7 FM Happy Radio. At dako naman sa Baging Visayas, tayo po napapakinggan sa Damparan FM 1.5 MHz at live na live napapakinggan naman dyan po sa Sangkay FM sa Borongan, Eastern Samar. Bidang-bida naman po tayo napapakinggan dyan po sa Cavite FM sa Tacloban City. Mga tropa naman natin dyan sa 52nd Infantry Battalion, 8th Infantry Division ng Philippine Army sa Barangay Dao Oras, Eastern Samar. Tayo po napapakinggan sa 100.5 Aguila FM. Mga babayan, isa pong mapagpaalang hapon sa ating lahat at isa pong espesyal, nabanggit ko nga kanina, espesyal na episode ng ating programa ang inyo pong matutunghayan dahil live natin pong makakapanayam ang ating dalawang guest from the Naval Reserve Command. At sila po live natin makakasama. Kung niyo pong mapapansin sa mga ilang mga episodes po natin ay via virtual. Sila po natin nakakasama. But now, we are grateful and tayo po nagagalak at nagpapasalamat for having them dito sa ating studio live. Mababayan, makakasama po natin ay hindi ko na po papaligo-ligo yun pa. And gusto po nating kilalanin at ating pong kamustahin ang ating pong mga guests and our officers from the Philippine Navy. Mababayan, makakasama po natin ang Deputy Chief of Staff for Education and Training ng ating Naval Reserve Command. Walang iba po yan sa pangunguna ni Lieutenant Juliet R. Saldazal, Philippine Navy. At kasama rin po natin ang admin officer ng Naval Reserve Management Center. Walang iba po yan kundi si Ensign Merofe Via Dacuan, Philippine Navy. At tama ba, sila po ang ating mga kasama upang buuin ang isang oras ng talakayan at paghatid na impormasyon patungkol po sa Naval Reserve Command. And if you have questions and clarification about the Naval Reserve Command, please send your comments and messages and questions sa ating pong Facebook live streaming at huwag kayong mag-alala dahil makakasama po natin ang ating dalawang guest na siyang sasagot doon po sa inyo pong mga katanungan. And now, mga babayan, ay ating pong kumustahin at ating pong kilalanin ang ating pong mga guests. Hello, ma'am. Magandang hapon.
A good Navy afternoon,
Yes,
Katropang Glenn, at sa lahat po ng nanonood ngayong hapon.
Maraming salamat po, ma'am. On behalf of our station manager, Colonel Franzel Margaret Padilla, kami po ay napapasalamat na kayo po ay aming nakasama live dito sa ating studio despite I know naman na you have a busy schedules but you give us time para po makapanayam at matid ang impormasyon patungkol po sa Naval Reserve Command.
Of course, it will be always our pleasure.
And maraming salamat, ma'am. Ayan po sa mga babayan po natin, sa mga tropa natin, tayo po ay live na naantabayanan sa ating himpilan, sa ating mga kababayan na nakantabayan sa Philippine Navy, Army, Air Force, Marines, ay binabati po namin kayo sa pong mapagpalang hapon ng Lunes. At mababayan, ngayon po ay ating pong kukumustahin ang Naval Reserve Command at nakilala po natin ang ating pong dalawa sa guest na siya makakapanayam at sasagot sa ating pong mga tanungan. At ngayon po ay atin naman pong bigyang pansin. Ma'am, kamusta po? Kamusta po ang ating Naval Reserve Command? Kamusta po ang inyong opisina? And how is it? How's the duty and responsibility ng ating pong mga officers and enlisted personnel sa Naval Reserve Command?
Well, in our office specifically, since we are actually monitoring all the trainings,
Yes, ma'am.
especially na lahat po ng exercises mostly, both local, multilateral, bilateral exercises now require the participation of our reservists. Medyo hectic talaga yung opisina namin. And in a way, it's good to be out,
Yes, yeah.
perhaps.
And thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah, good afternoon again, everyone. In our office, the Naval Reservist Management Center, all is well so far. Yeah, our office actually is very busy as well with the management of our reservists pertaining to their schooling or to their promotions or eligibilities and other career courses.
And thank you so much, ma'am. And at nabagid nyo nga, ma'am, busy and napakaraming mga kailangang tapusin. But and now, ma'am, this month we are celebrating Mental Health Month. And napagit nyo po nyo, busy and marami po mga tasking. And gusto lang po natin ipaabot sa ating mga babayan, especially sa ating mga katropa, to those civilians, na kung saan ay maipabatid po natin, despite of our busy schedules, kamusta po ang mga ang mental well-being, ang ating po mga tropa. How is it? Kamusta po sila? Ang moral and welfare ng ating po mga sundalo sa Naval Reserve Command. Yes.
Well, check morale. It's high morale palagi because despite the, as you've mentioned, the busy and the fast flowing events and activities in the command, we have a very supportive, a very understanding, considerate bosses, especially the commander down the line. So we are indeed fortunate, and at the same time, we are happy to be.
Yes.
To have a leadership under Major General Joseph S. Ferris Quizon, Philippine Navy Marines.
Yes, ma'am. Maraming salamat. And mga babayan, I asked them, dahil napakalaga po ito, gusto po namin maipaabot sa inyo that our soldier, our military, our armed force of the Philippines, alam naman natin na talagang we are busy. However, ay gusto namin itong i-highlight. Despite of our busy schedules, ay gusto namin ipaabot pa sa inyo na high morale and because of the support of our commanders, of our officers, and na kung saan ay para magampanan ang mga serbisyo at tungkulin ng ating pong mga officers and enlisted personnel sa ating pong paglilingkod, sa ating pong organization, and especially sa ating mahal na bansang Pilipinas. Ma'am, we are happy na kami po ay naipaabot po natin to sa ating mga babayan. And I know sa ating mga viewers and listeners ay excited to know more about Naval Reserve Command, and they're excited also to be part of being reservists. At marami po sa ating mga babayan ngayon ang nagtatanong, paano nga ba at ano nga bang gagawin? At this time, kami po nagagalak dahil isa po itong pagkakataon na may paabot po natin at madiscuss po natin kung ano nga ba ang mandato na sinusulong po ng ating Naval Reserve Command. Ma'am, for the information of everybody, kaninang umaga nakapanayan po natin ang First Reserve Center ng Philippine Air Force. At ngayon po ay we are grateful sa ating programa ang inyong armed forces. Ating makikilala ang Naval Reserve Command. Ma'am, for the information of our kababayan, especially to those civilian. Ma'am, pag sinabi nating Naval Reserve Command, who is Naval Reserve Command? Sino po at ano po ang mandato na ginagampanan ng ating Naval Reserve Command?
Well, first off, the Naval Reserve Command's mission is to organize, train, equip, and administer naval reservists as the base for expansion of the Philippine Navy, especially in times of war, crisis, calamities, and to assist in the socio-economic development of the country. So our aim is actually just to have a committed, well-trained and ready reserve force for our strong republic.
Wow, thank you so much, ma'am. And ito mga babayan, napapakita po natin through the brief information that our Deputy Chief of Staff ng ating pong education training ng ating Naval Reserve Command na inibahagi ay napakalaking bagay na mas maintindihan ito ng ating mga civilian dahil kayo po sa mga nagnanais na maging reserve ay isa po itong malaking factor na dapat maunawaan ninyo kung ano yung pinapasok po ninyo. At this time, tayo po nagagalak dahil sa mga nais po maging Naval Reservists ay isa pong pagkakataon na live natin makakapanayam ang ating po mga officers from the Naval Reserve Command. Ma'am, sa ating mga kababayan, sa ating mga tropa, nabanggit ko kanina, there are a lot of our Filipinos na gustong maging reservists. At gusto po natin itong himay-himayin, ma'am, at para maintindihan po nila kung ano po yung sources ng ating po mga reserve officers. And for the information of our kababayan, dahil alam po natin, may sinabi po nila pagiging isang reservist ay ito po ba automatically na if you want to be a reserve, you will become an officer automatically, or mayroon po bang may mga groups o mayroon po bang level kung ano po sila napapasama o napapabilang sa ating po sa ating pagiging isang reservist, ma'am?
All right. So everyone is actually invited, and becoming actually a naval reservist is really possible. Now our application or the process of becoming a naval reservist has the same process with the regular force. So we also have the so-called enlistment and commission in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force. So we based the qualifications. For example, the said applicant or interested applicant is a graduate or has completed college and wishes to be enlisted in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force, which is also possible, but it doesn't say, or it does not automatically be on commission. So there's gonna be two different application. First, he has to be enlisted first in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force before applying for commission, given that he will pass or be qualified on the sets of qualifications that we have. So for the commission in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force, we have a total of 7 sources of commission. So bawat sources na meron tayo for commission in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force, iba-iba ang rubrics or sets of qualifications. So I'll in a very summarized or short way, allow me to discuss. So the group 1, we have the group 1. Those are for the graduates of NS43, the Naval Science 43, or the Summer Shipboard Training. So ito yung ang katumbas nito sa Philippine Air Force at saka sa Philippine Army is the POTC. So we call it sa Philippine Navy as Naval Science 43 or the Summer Shipboard Training. Also, for the graduates of MAAP and PMMA, our special ROTC units sa Naval Reserve Command. So, if they are graduates of those institutions or those program, which is the NS43, they will fall under Group 1. And they can be commissioned in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force for the rank of Ensign or O1.
Yes, ma'am.
Yan.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt you, ma'am, dahil we are focusing on the group 1 pa ngayon. And I have a questions on that, follow-up questions regarding dito. Kasi nabanggit po ninyo, meron tayong mga advanced ROTC graduates from other services.
Yeah.
And sa qualification po ba ng ating pagiging isang commission sa Philippine Navy, ay pasok pa rin po ba ito yung ating mga kabataan na graduate sila sa POTC ng Army, ng Air Force, or ng iba pang branch of service, ma'am?
Okay. For that one, medyo hihimayin ko lang so
Yes,
that
ma'am.
we won't have any misconception. So for example, this said applicant is a graduate of Advanced ROTC, which was administered by the Philippine Army. So he is a graduate of POTC, and he is interested or he wishes to be commissioned in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force. That is possible, yes, but then there are a lot of things to be considered first. Una, syempre, he is enlisted na-enlist na siya sa Philippine Army, sa Reserve Force. So, before he can be commissioned in the Philippine Navy, there's a lot of approvals and requests, and also, alam mo yun, yung mga no objections. Dapat the losing unit, which is the Philippine Army, on my example, will have no objection of his interest to join the Reserve Force of the Philippine Navy. So, that is possible, yes. But then we'll have to very much in consideration of those factors para naman walang magiging smooth yung magiging processing ng application. And also, that is actually the chain of process that we have for the major services of the Armed Forces of the Philippines.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for answering the questions, ma'am. And aside from this group 1, na kung saan graduate po ng Advanced ROTC at nakapagtapos po ng POTC also, di ma'am? And ano pa po yung ibang mga source of reserve officers po natin?
All right. So there's 6 more
Mhm.
that I will have to discuss in a very, very summarized way. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
let's do that. So for the group 2, these are the outstanding PO or NCOs, non-commissioned officers of the Philippine Navy. So if they will fall under the provision set on the RA 718, then they can apply or they will fall under the group 2. So ang ating pinaka-criteria dyan ay if they are deserving, especially if they can provide proof for the awards that they received. So, meron tayong mga sets of awards na i-consider natin aside from their background. But then, pagdating sa group 2, we do not focus more on their educational attainment. We just need only if they are able to get a gold cross, a bronze cross, or a medal of valor, ganyan. Now, moving on, Group 3, these are the degree holders or the licensed professionals which most of our applicants are from. So, ito yung ating mga licensed teachers na, mga licensed criminologists. So, dominant ng ating applications right now that we're receiving in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force are from Group 3. So, mostly these are seafarers. Sa seafarers natin, yung mga teachers natin, and even dito rin papasok yung mga nasa private sectors or private companies. So, ito ang ating Group 3. We base their rank, their qualifications on their educational attainment, whether they are graduate or they have a master's degree or PhD, or if they have accumulated 10 years of work experience or more. So, we have a different sets of rubrics for this source of application. Now, for our Group 2, Group 4, sorry. These are the graduates, individuals who are graduates of Master of National Security Administration. This was administered only by the NDCP, the National Defense College of the Philippines. So, dito, once they have provided as proof that they are a graduate of such program, then they can be commissioned in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force, provided that will also submit the other list of requirements required for the application. So automatic, if they will be commissioned, they get the rank of commander or O5 in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force. Now, for their Group 5, these are the Pinaro.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, before that, gusto ko lang po i-clarify ito dahil dito sa Group 4 ay nabanggit po natin na graduate ng Master's in National Security Administration.
Yes.
Ma'am, nabanggit natin dito na only conducted by the National Defense College. What about, ma'am, those graduate ng mga Masters in National Defense National Security Administration sa ibang school naman? Qualified pa rin ba sila or talagang we are stick on our policy na sa dapat National Defense College of the Philippines na graduate?
Okay. So, for that one kasi, dito sa ating Group 4, sa ating policy actually, the circular number 4, GHQ circular number 4, it is really indicated there na it was administered only by the NDCP. So, in the event that they were able to complete the MNSA course administered by other institution or school, then most likely we will have that raised to the higher headquarters if ever they will consider that under Group 4, or we will have them fall on Group 3, which is the degree holders licensed professional. So that master's degree will still be considered as part of their educational attainment.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Let's go ahead. We have only we have 3 pa. Three.
All right. So for Group 5, these are our Pinaro, the Philippine Navy affiliated reserve units. So marami tayong mga Pinaro, ashore or afloat. So iba-iba ang mga capabilities nun. Again, our Pinaros or the affiliated reserve units are there for us to provide unstoppable or continuous technical service. Ito yung mga importante in case of crisis or mga calamities. Kailangan hindi nai-interrupt yung supply ng ating mga tubig, electricity, food, or whatever. So we have plenty of Pinaros. And for those na existing na Pinaro natin sa Philippine Navy, they can apply for commission in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force, and their rank will be based on their current position sa company or sa organization.
Okay.
And then, but then, still, we will consider their educational attainment and other requirements as well. So, and then their rank will be based on their current position.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So, moving on, Group 6, these are the individuals na elect sila in national for national position or the presidential appointees. So we have also different rubrics here depending on their position, elected position that they're holding right now. So if it's a mayor, a councilor, or a senator, meron siyang mga corresponding rank sa ating policy.
Okay.
And then lastly, for the Group 7, these are the commissioned officers, regular commissioned officers who resign their position in wishes to be part of the Philippine Navy Reserve Force, provided syempre still if they are still eligible to be commissioned. Merong mga things to consider. Syempre, they are previously commissioned as a regular officer. So those are the sources of commission right now that we have in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force.
Yes, ma'am. Maraming salamat for discussing the seven sources ng commission na sa ating pong Reserve Force ng ating pong Philippine Navy. And ma'am, you discuss about the sources ng ating reserve officers. And ito din po ang ating next question. What would be the initial commission rank can be given sa ating mga reserve force once na sila po ay nakapasok na? Or ito po ba ay nakadepende doon sa groups or sources na napapabilang sila? Ano po ang mga ranggo na mabibigay natin?
Alright. So, this is the process actually. The applicant is interested to apply for commission in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force. So he has to approach first the NRCENS under his area or within or in his permanent address. For example, let's say it will fall under Visayas. So we have the NRCEN EV there. So the applicant has to visit the NRCEN EV and then expresses his intention to apply for commission in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force. Now, the center actually will determine first which source of commission he will fall.
Okay.
And then from there, the set qualifications will be observed or will be applied on the application of that applicant. Kaya from NRCEN, papunta sa amin sa Naval Reservice Management Center, we already know if correct ba ang source of commission na in-apply and the recommended rank and designation for said applicant.
Yes. Ma'am, nabanggit po ninyo na meron tayo mga NRCEN from nationwide.
Yeah.
Ma'am, if there's a possibility ba ng ating pong mga applicants from Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao ay pwede na mag-direct dito sa ating pong Naval Reserve Command o kailangan po doon po mismo sa kung saan sila mismo nakatira o kung saan lugar sila mismo doon sa mga NRCEN natin?
It is very important na pumunta muna sa kanila sa NRCENS na malapit sa kanilang permanent address to facilitate the application. To facilitate the application kasi we will be needing first the recommendation from the NRCEN for us to be able to confirm whether the recommended rank or whether the said application is possible or not.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. Ano yun po sa mga kababayan po natin, especially sa ating po mga kabataan, mga leaders po natin, if you want to become a Naval Reserve Officer or maging pagpa-commission, ay kailangan po na mas mainam na doon po sa mga Naval Reserve Commando Center natin, ma'am, dyan po sa mga area.
Yes. Nationwide, we have a total of 8 NRCENS. So, any NRCENS na malapit sa inyong permanent address, you can just visit there. Everyone is open to visit. We are there waiting for you, for us to support your application, if possible to do so. And whatever we can actually help, our personnel is actually equipped in educating or providing more information regarding the essence of becoming a naval reservist.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much. And huwag kayong mag-alala mga kababayan, very approachable at talagang i-assist po kayo dyan sa lahat po na requirements po ninyo at ipapaintindi sa iyo kung anong dapat ang una nyong gagawin para hindi kayo maligaw. Dahil alam natin na hindi po ganun kadali. For the information of everybody, hindi po ganun kadali. Hindi ibig sabihin na tayo po ay merong mataas na pinag-aralan ay kaya na natin pumasok agad. Sabi nga ni Ma'am Kana, there's a qualifications, at kailangan po may mga procedure na gagawin. At kailangan na po natin sundin po yun. Ma'am, thank you so much for explaining that. At gusto na po balikan ito, Ma'am, kanina, na itong pagbibigay ng mga ranks. Ito dahil isa rin po sa mga questions ng ating mga kababayan. Paano kung ganito lang experience ko, ganito lang yung natapos ko, at maging reserves ko, ano yung rango na makukuha ko? And dito po, isatanungin po natin mga kababayan, at para mas maliwanagan po kayo na nandito ang ating Naval Reserves Command.
Okay. So, uulitin ko lang, our sets of qualification varies from what we apply on for enlistment at saka sa commission. So, sa commission, what we really consider most, especially if his source of commission will fall under Group 3, ang ikukonsider natin dyan unang-una is the age, the number of work experience relevant to the course that he has completed in college. And then the third one will be the highest educational attainment that he has completed. So, yung tatlo na yon, for example, sabi mo nga, as your example, ito lang ang work experience niya, and then let's say he has completed college, let's say ang accumulated na work experience niya relevant to his course is 2 years, then we can give him an initial rank of ensign or O1 in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force, given those qualifications. But then if he has more than that, then we still have also the detailed rubrics. We call it rubrics. We have also the detailed rubrics to identify the correct rank for the said applicant.
Ma'am, ibig sabihin, ma'am, kasi marami sa ating mga seafarers, merong mga program na ang ating seafarers program sa ibang universities ay nasa 2 years lang. Meron tayong 2 years, merong 3 years, at ang iba naman ay 4 years. Ma'am, what if itong mga seafarers natin, may nagtatanong po dito sa atin na they are seafarers, 3 years up ang kanilang pong experiences, and however, 2 years lang yung natapos nila. Is dahil yun lang yung program na meron po sa universities na yun. Ma'am, ano pong mga rank, or papasok po ba sila doon sa ensign, or meron pong mga rank pa na ibibigay po sa ating sa kanila?
Alright. They can be enlisted in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force, but for commission, they have to complete the 4 years duration of college. Kasi ang Marina, pagdating kasi sa ating seafarers, what we base more when it comes to the rank that will be given to them is their license, the type of license that they have. Kasi sa Marina, they only have 4 Well, license chief, OIC Navigational Watch, Master Mariner. So, doon lang iikot. So, si Marina, prior naman siya ng giving ng license na yon, he also considered whether the said applicant or the said individual has completed college. Hindi naman siya na-accumulate. It's like PRC
Yes.
Now, if they have that license, we will also consider their age and the number of their work experience, considering as well the vessel that they got on board with, kung ano yung gross tonnage nun. So, we also have set guidelines as well and rubrics for us to be able to determine correctly the rank that we'll be giving to our seafarers. Now, for our seafarers that are undergraduate, they can still be part of the Philippine Navy Reserve Force as enlisted personnel. So, same qualifications apply, but then the rank will vary from the commission. For the commission in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force. Yan.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much po sa mga kababayan po natin, especially those seafarers na naghahangad at gustong maging magpa-commission at maging parte ng ating pong laang kawal. Ay ito, maliwanag, mas malinaw. Mas malinaw pa ito sa tubig na iniinom po natin. Ito pag-explain po ni ma'am regarding po dito sa qualifications at hoping sa ating mga kababayan, sa mga tropa natin nakikinig ngayon, ay magbigay daan ito para po sa inyo pong application na gagawin pa. Ma'am, ang ensign ay katumbas po ng rango ng second lieutenant?
Second lieutenant, yes. It's O1.
Yes. And thank you so much, ma'am. And the higher the experiences and the highest educational attainment, the highest the rank na makukuha po ng ating mga applicant.
Again, it depends on the source of commission.
Okay.
Kasi tulad sa seafarer, even though they have they have accumulated 18 years of total work experience, however, they're only had OIC Navigational Watch as their license.
Okay.
So we cannot let them be commissioned as well for the rank of lieutenant commander or commander. So the highest rank that we can give is the lieutenant. Depending on the license.
Okay.
For the group 3 naman, ng mga licensed professionals degree holders, other rubrics to that, we can only provide the highest rank possible if the said applicant has a PhD.
Okay.
And has accumulated as well minimum of 18 years total work experience.
Oh. Para ba nakuha, wala pa siyang ganong rich ng mating ganong experience. However, ay naaga niyang natapos ang tong PhD niya. Sa anong rank siya mapupunta?
If he won't be able, let's say, to accumulate the required number of work experience, then kung ano lang yung required number ng work experience siya magpo-fall, considering na let's say nakapag-master's degree siya, the highest one will be lieutenant. So long that he has also pasok siya dun sa required na number of work experience that we require for the rank of lieutenant or O3 in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force. Mind you, katropa, for the lieutenant, we require minimum of 10 years work experience.
10 years. Okay. And for the information of everybody, ang lieutenant is katumbas po yan ng kapitan.
That is
correct.
correct.
Captain. Para po ito, mas maliwanag po dahil malilito kayo kasi pag sa Navy, kapag sinabi nating kapitan, ay yan po ay katumbas ng colonel. Para po sa kalaman natin, para po mas maliwanag, ang lieutenant po ay katumbas po yan ng kapitan sa Army and Air Force sa Philippine Navy. Para po sa kaliwanagan ng ating mga taga-subaybay at taga-pakinig. And ma'am, nabanggit po natin na Lieutenant Commander ang pinakamataas na posisyon na binibigay po natin sa ating Naval Reservists, tama?
Actually, commander.
Kaya commander.
Yeah.
And itong rank na commander, ilang taon lang ito dapat, ilang taon lang ang pwedeng ma-qualify dito?
Our minimum age requirement for the rank of commander is 39.
39.
Yes.
So, ibig sabihin, pag lumagpas na po ng, sabihin, kahit 40 pa, ay hindi na natin ito ma-considered, or pa 41 na siya, pero 40 pala siya during the application, ay hindi pa po ba siya ma-considered na commander, or hindi na po talaga?
Okay. I would like to have some clarification on that. Kasi when we say minimum, ibig sabihin, kapag 39 siya, papasok na siya.
Yes.
So, it's a minimum age requirement. So, let's say on the time of the application, he's 40 years old. At least, kumbaga, sobra na siya ng 39 kasi ang minimum age requirement lang is 39 eh. So, it's really possible. It's really possible for him to qualify for the rank of commander, provided that he also met the other qualifications.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. And dagdag ko na rin, para po sa kalaman natin mga babae, dahil napaganda po ng ating talakayan. And it's very, sabatin, nakakapagbukas ng kaisipan. At makakapag-isip tayo na we need to pursue this. And ma'am, tanong ko lang po dahil we are talking about being a reservist. And ma'am, bilang isang reservist, there's a possibility ba na ito pong ating mga reserve officer, kapag sila po ay naging isang reserve officer, ay pwede po ba rin silang mag-apply na maging isang regular officer? Para po sa kalaman ng ating mga viewers, ma'am.
Okay. So, the Philippine Navy actually, we have the program called CADTT, Call to Active Duty Tour Training. So, this gives emphasis or opportunity actually for those commissioned reserve officers to serve or to serve along with the regular officers. So the CADTT, they will be called to active duty for 2 years. So they will have designations, same with the regular officers. They will also receive the same compensation for the rank kung saan sila na-commission. For example, etong si Commissioned Reservist Officer, nag-apply siya ng CADTT. Ang rank niya ay lieutenant. So he will be called to active duty and his rank will also be lieutenant. He will be given 2 years to serve as a regular officer then.
Yes.
But then, after the 2 years, kasi hindi naman siya pwedeng i-extend, that's the part of the program, hindi siya pwedeng i-extend, he will go back to his or her previous rank prior ng CADTT.
Okay. So, ibig sabihin, ma'am, kung siya ay reservist, babalik siya sa pagiging isang reservist.
Yes, that is correct. And can reapply for CADTT after 5 years.
Okay. Ayan po mga kabayan, maliwanag po yan. At ito po, mas maintindihan po natin. And to those who want to apply to become a commission sa Naval Reserve officer or Naval Reserve Command ay ito mas may naintindihan po natin. And ma'am, thank you so much for explaining that. Napaganda po ng ating talakayan and you discuss it well. At proceed naman po tayo ma'am sa ilang pa pang mga tanungan para mas maintindihan pa ng ating po mga babayan. And we discussed already paano pong application, kung saan sila napapabilang. And tanong naman po natin ma'am, ay nabanggit po ninyo yung mga licensed professionals doon based sa mga seafarers natin. What about ma'am those licensed professionals aside from seafarers po natin, aside from sa nating mga nasa barko talaga may mga lisensya. What about the teachers? What about the iba pang mga professionals po natin, psychologists, etc. ma'am?
Yeah, we really need them as well in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force, and their source for commission will be Group 3. There will be Group 3. So to be actually, honestly, we have a lot of commissioned reservist officers now who are from Group 3. Most of them are licensed teacher, licensed criminologist, licensed psychologist, engineer. So they're really we really appreciate them joining the Philippine Navy Reserve Force. So itong ating mga professionals, we will still for example, we have applicants who is a licensed professional teacher. So he'll fall under Group 3, and then we will consider the initial rank to be given to him on his total work experience if he has work on private schools or DepEd, or he has a job or work related or a work experience related to teaching kasi yun ang naman tinapos niya. So we have plenty of commissioned reservist officers now na mga licensed professional teachers or from other fields aside from the seafarers.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, maraming salamat. At ayan po, mga kababayan, at ito, pinapaliwanag po natin mas maunawaan po natin. At kapag tayo nag-apply, ay mas madali tayong mag-process. At dahil alam na po natin, it's better to be aware before we apply. Kasi naman, baka tayo nag-apply, ay hindi natin alam yung ating pinapasukan. Kaya sabi natin kayo na mas mainam na tayo po yung nalalaman before we proceed on our application. And let's continue, ma'am, dahil napaganda po ito ng ating talakayan, mas naunawaan ng ating mababayan. And the next question is, paano naman, if doon na tayo, nakapasok na po sila, naging reservist na po sila, ang question po ay, paano nga ba napopromote ang ating mga reserve force? Dahil alam naman natin, they are voluntarily, yung kailang pong service. And we salute them, dahil they are doing that voluntarily to serve our country. But the question is, paano nga ba sila napopromote? And yan ang question po natin para po sa ating mababayan at mas maintindihan pa ng ating mga taga-subaybay.
Okay, thank you. Para sa question na yan, promotion of our reservists, the Naval Reservist Management Center, one of our job actually or functions sa aming opisina is to manage the career of our reservists effectively. So, meron tayong mga career advancement or requirements for them to be promoted, whether they are the enlisted reservists or commissioned reservist officers. Meron tayong mga siniset na guidelines or criteria or qualifications that they need to complete or comply with for them to be eligible to be promoted on the next higher rank.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Kapag sila po ay na-promote, ito gusto ko rin po itanong kasi mostly tayo sa military, we have these military awards na natatanggap. But the question is, ma'am, nakakatanggap rin po ba ang ating po mga reservists, mga laang kawal ng military awards? As sabi natin, they are volunteers, but they are reservists.
I would like to answer
Yes,
that.
ma'am.
Well, just like the regular forces, our reservists are more than welcome to be awarded with the different awards. And this, again, ang basis lang naman po natin dito is the Awards and Decorations Manual of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. The recommending personnel or office only needs to comply with the certain or citation for us to determine which award can be given to those reservists based on their deeds.
Ayan. Maraming salamat. And the follow-up question, ma'am, ito, dahil nabanggit pa natin kanina, how they be promoted. And ang next follow-up question ko, ma'am, ito po bang mga awards na nabanggit, ma'am, na pwede sila, possible sila mabigyan ng military awards, ay kasama din po ba ito ba sa computation para po doon sa kanilang promotion. Nagagaya po sa ating pong active military personnel na tayo, kasama ito yung My Point System, ito pong mga awards na natatanggap po natin as a personnel. Ito po ba sa kanila sa ating pong mga reserve force ay kasama rin po ba itong mga awards na ito, ma'am?
Yes, indeed. Well, as reservist officers or enlisted personnel, we also follow the certain SOP and the directive from the higher headquarters for the reservist promotion officers promotion system and the reservist officers system 206 and 207. So in a way, we are indeed having different criteria as what's mentioned, as what's everyone is covered in. There are certain sets of criteria and grading system that we have to follow, just like the regular force. So for example, in the promotion of our reservists, we also take a look on their time and grade, or the TIG. Aside from that, their career courses, and those criteria are actually a requirement. And if I may add, for the career courses of our reservists, it is already a guidance in by the flag officer in command to have a seamless integration. So I would like just to share that in the Philippine Navy, our reservists has an equal opportunity to undergo their basic and advanced specialization or courses. For example, in the officers' side, a reservist officer can undergo their basic FOS or field of specialization course. At the same time, they would be allowed to undergo their advanced FOS courses. Same goes with our reservist enlisted personnel na very dedicated and very active. So they could undergo the basic specialization course, their advanced specialization course, up until their systems management course through the NRI programs or non-resident instructions.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, nabanggit po niyo basic and advanced. It's like the same sa ating po mga active personnel that we have basic and advanced also. And ang question, ma'am, is the same din po ba ang duration, ang tagal ng pagsasanay ng ating po active sa ating po mga reservists?
No, there is a leeway, or shall we say, a consideration for our reservists, both enlisted personnel and officers. Per SOP po na i-publish ng Philippine Navy, a student of the NRI course or reservist student under NRI course is allowed to finish the course 3 times the original duration. So, meaning, if 6 months yung original course for the regular officer or enlisted personnel, then our reservists can finish the course up until 1.5 years.
Okay. Ayan, mahaba din pala.
Yes.
For the information of everybody, hindi po ganun kadali. At ngayon po, mas naiintindihan po natin, mas nabibigyan po tayo ng linaw sa pag-apply po natin at paano nga ba isinasagawa ito. And ma'am, you have additional po ba?
Yeah. To add on that, one of the parameters actually we also check for the reservist to be eligible to be promoted on the next higher rank is when he also had a 5 years consecutive ADT.
Okay.
So the ADT, the annual duty training. So on that, the annual duty training requires minimum of 30 days active duty training. So he has to go to do OJT on the some Philippine Navy units na kung saan dun aligned yung kanyang rank or ratings, at saka yung sa officer is the FOS.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, madagdag ko na rin, if the reservists ay comply all the requirements, it always depend pa rin doon sa recommendation ng kanila po mga commanders kung saan po sila naka-assign o nakabase. Tama po, ma'am? Or dagdag ko na rin, saan po sila nagkakaroon ng ADT na actual duty tour na sinasagawa po, ma'am?
Okay. They apply for ADT sa NRCen,
Okay.
which is their mobilization center. Now, once their ADT is approved, then they'll have to be integrated sa Philippine Navy units that can enhance their knowledge when it comes to their FOS or their ratings or rank ratings that they have. So si ADT, meron tayong mga ADT na logbook or ilalag, or we also have the system now, the ADTMS, ADT monitoring system, wherein we will be able to see yung nangyayaring OJT or integration ng ating mga reservists for them to enhance their learnings, especially on their field of specialization or ratings na meron sila.
Ma'am, dahil kanina, while we are discussing, nabanggit po niyo, there's a lot of opportunity, especially during the ADT, the annual duty tour. Ma'am, for the information of our service, dahil ang Philippine Navy ay isa sa mga talagang meron tayo, capable tayo sa maraming assets, sa mga barko po natin. Ma'am, pasok po ba itong ating mga reservists? Sila po ba ay napapasama sa mga duty diyan po sa sea duty natin sinasabi, ma'am? Do we have a sea duty also sa ating po mga reservists?
Actually, hindi sea duty ang tawag natin
ma'am,
dun eh. Oo. We have actually plenty of mobilization
Yes,
exercises.
okay.
And for that one, I would like Lieutenant Saldasal to...
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead, ma'am.
Okay, so when it comes to ADT and correlation to the training, the exercises that's been offered by the Philippine Navy or the AFP as in a whole, no ADT, no training, or no exercise. That's it. So a reservist, in order for them to participate in these kinds of exercises, they really need to be in ADT status muna, which means that whenever a need or they could join a certain exercise, for example, the mobilization exercise, there's a lot of MOBEX that are being conducted simultaneously in the different regions, in the different parts, and which involve different NRCENs or Naval Reserve Centers as well. So it is really mandatory for every reservist who would like to join these exercises to be in ADT first. So by then they could share their knowledge, because one of the activities there could be the SME exchange or subject matter expert exchange, in which it's around or a give and take of information, best practices, knowledge, and in a way our reservists probably in their civilian setting could share whatever best practice they have to our naval reserve. I mean naval officers or naval settings.
Yan. Thank you so much, ma'am. At mas nauunawaan natin. At nagbibigyan ito especially to those who are aspiring to become a reservist. And ma'am, nadagdag po natin, especially from the ADT, we're discussing about the active duty tour. And ma'am, dagdag ko na rin, meron po ba rin tayong mga exercises na isinasagawa sa ating mga reservists or training international, aside from our local sabi nating training na sinasagawa sa ating po mga reservists, and how we select them, our service na ipapadala po natin, sino-sino po sila ito?
Well, our reservist, for example, Balikatan, when that happened, there's an initial, a middle, and a final planning, which by then, the different centers that will be tapped or will be involved should recommend, si center po kasi yung nakakaalam as to how active or participative a reservist is. So by then, sa higher headquarters, on our office, that's nagko-collect lang po talaga kami ng recommendations. The recommendations will come from their centers and firsthand from their commanders kung sino sa kanila yung ipapadala niya. And then those exercises are fully funded by HPN. So all they need to do is to be there, to be present, and to participate and to learn.
Wow. And that's the opportunities. Iilan lang po yan. Iilan lang po yan. Ito po yung mga opportunities na to na ibinibigay sa ating mga reservists. Aside from wearing a best uniform that we have, marami pa mga exercises na sinasagawa ang ating po Armed Forces of the Philippines, mga local at mga international, ay kasama po kayo. Bilateral, multilateral, kasama po ang ating mga reservists. Thank you so much, ma'am. And let's go deeper. Marami kasing nagtatanong, marami sa ating mga babayan, especially for those young individuals, mga estudyante, na kapag sila nag-undergo ng ROTC, ay ang alam na nila ay graduate lang sila ng ROTC. And just to clarify and just to ma'am, para mas maintindihan po nila, ito po bang mga graduate ng ROTC na ating mga estudyante ay sila po ba ay may katumbas na rango after they graduate? Kasi ang alam lang po ng ating mga kabataan talaga, just be joined kasi requirements ng school. And sabi nila, graduate lang ako ng ROTC. Pag tinanong sila kung anong rank nila, they have no idea about it. So ito gusto nating tanungin and gusto nating ipaabot sa ating mga babayan, ma'am.
Right. Well, to answer, if our OTC graduates have their ranks after graduating, the answer is a big yes. It's true and it's correct. We are anchored or based on the NSTP law 9173 RA 9173. Our ROTC, Naval ROTC graduates are given a rank of Seaman Second or E2 in the Navy. And that can be adjusted or that could increase as they go along the ladder if they would like to really be promoted or they would decide to be participating in the in the regular reserve.
Yes, ma'am. So sa policy, yes ma'am, dagdagan ko lang ma'am. Sa policy po natin, as long as nag-graduate ka ng ROTC, automatically you're part of their service.
Automatically, yes, you are part of the reservists and will be added on the status of line reserve that we have, or the line reserve that we have, which is the ready reserve, standby reserve, and retired reserve. To add on our ROTC graduates, upon completion of the MS1 and MS2, the NRSN then will issue a serial numbers to our ROTC cadets. So they're not just enlist in the Philippine Navy Reserve Force, but they also get a serial numbers confirming that they are officially enlisted or official na na-enlist sila sa ating Philippine Navy Reserve Force.
Yes, ma'am. And ito para na rin sa kalaman ng ating mga kababayan. Ma'am, gaano po halaga ito pong serial number ng isang reservist o isang active na military, ma'am?
Serial number is very important. Hindi lang sa atin ng mga regular officers or regular personnel ng Armed Forces of the Philippines. For our reservists, this is also their certification or masasabi nating their birth certificate. We call it their birth certificate sa Armed Forces and also the Philippine Navy Reserve Force. It is very important. Though the serial numbers ay pwedeng mag-change, mag-vary, especially if they got promoted or if they applied from enlisted to commission, that serial number might change, but still ang pinaka-essence ng ating serial number will actually the serial number certifies that they have completed the program or that they are part of the Philippine Navy Reserve Force.
Ayun. Thank you so much, ma'am. At mga babayan, maliwanag at napaganda po ng ating talakayan. Gusto ko lang pong itanong din ito, ma'am, because I know we don't have enough time, but I would like to ask this question. If may possibility ba itong processing ng pag-retrieve ng ROTC serial number, retrieving the serial number ba natin?
Ikaw nang bahala kung kailan mo gusto magbukas, ha? Hindi naman magigala sa akin yung material.
So, on
Sa'yo na
the
material,
issuance actually or giving of serial numbers to our graduates of ROTC, we also have the process. So, syempre, when we administer the ROTC to respective schools that we have, the NRSN then will provide us, or the commandant actually of that school will submit to higher headquarters the request for block serial numbers. And he will also provide the list of those students who qualified or who passed the program or the course or the ROTC program. So, sa office namin, the Naval Reservice Management Center, we provide the block serial numbers. And then, we will provide that to the commandant or the NRSN who is requesting it from us. And then, the NRSN then will return the request, but the request this time will be confirmation of block serial numbers. So, once it was approved by the Commander, Naval Reserve Command, then that confirmation of block serial numbers will become the official serial numbers of our ROTC graduates.
Yan. Thank you so much, ma'am. Ayan po sa mga viewers po natin, sa mga tropa natin. Napaganda ng ating talakayan and it was discussed well. And kung ako mismo nakikinig, mas maunawaan ko, maintindihan ko. And hoping sa ating mga viewers, sa ating mga taga-subaybay, sa ating mga kabataan na gustong maging isang reservist, it is opportunity. And huwag nyo na isipan pa, but be part of our reserve force. And ma'am, for the dagdag ko na rin habang meron pa tayong ilang pang mga oras. Ma'am, gaano kahalaga na meron tayong patuloy na lumalagong numero ng reservists sa ating pong bansa? At gaano po kahalaga na dapat ang ating mababayan ay magpatuloy na maging part ng ating reserve force?
Well, the first thing is that our reservists, as mentioned, is considered the base for expansion. So it is very assuring, not just for the Philippine Navy, but for the AFP in general, that a lot of these civilians, shall we say, at marami pa tayong kababayan who are already hooked into undergoing the same training that the regular forces have, or have an experience or a glimpse of how the regular force could be trained in a way. It is very assuring for the country na in case of emergency or the very minimal yung mga disaster, we have a lot of personnel or mga kababayan na pwedeng itap because they are already reservists. And as a reservist, it is the basic for them to have this knowledge, and we assure that we impart, that we train them accordingly as to what the, not just the NRC or the NAVRESCOM mandate, but for the AFP's mandate as well.
Yes, ma'am. Maraming salamat. Ma'am, dagdag ko na rin. Meron pa akong oras. Pwede ako mag-send ng konti. Dahil napaganda po ng talakayan. Ma'am, as long as ang ating pong Armed Forces of the Philippines ay changing in our mandates from internal defense posture, and now we have the internal defense posture protecting our sovereignties, especially sa ating pong isinusulong na West Philippine Sea. Ma'am, gaano po kahalaga na ang ating reservists ay nandyan, nakakibat ng ating armed forces to protect our sovereignty?
It is very important. It's highly important that our reservists, especially those on ready reserve, that they are there anytime, whenever the armed forces or the command requires their specialization or their help. It's very important that they can respond immediately. Kasi tayo sa armed forces, we can do more, we can do what we can, but then if there will be more helping hands to help us or to augment with us, then we could actually create a better outcome, or we can improve or be able to complete the task in a fast and effective manner. Ayun.
Thank you so much, Ma'am. And we are happy, and kami ay nagagalak, and especially with our station manager for having you gracing our program, ang inyong Armed Forces, na nagbigay daan upang mas maintindihan pa ng ating mga kababayan, ng ating mga tropa, kung ano nga ba ang mandato na sinusulong ng ating Naval Reserve Command. And Ma'am, we don't have enough time, but I would like to ask you, what would be your message sa ating mga kababayan, sa ating mga katropa, and especially to those who are willing to be part of the reserve force ng ating Philippine Navy?
To all the viewers at sa mga kababayan po namin who are still having doubts to probably enlist or be commissioned in the reserve force, eto na po yung inaantay nyong sign. This is it. So you can reach or go to your nearest Naval Reserve Center wherever you may be in the part of the Philippines. So we are very much gonna welcome and with open arms na tanggapin po kayo lahat po ng applications, lahat ng questions that you might have to how to become a reservist. We're more than happy to assist you.
Maraming salamat, Ma'am.
Ayun. So, sabi nga ni Ma'am, and every questions that you have, we are really so much prepared to accommodate and answer all your questions. I would like also to take this opportunity to encourage as well yung mga kabataan ngayon, kasi kami ni Ma'am, if hindi mo man itatanong, we are also a graduate of NS43. We're a graduate of Advanced ROTC. So prior kami nakapasok dito sa serbisyo, we have undergone ROTC, basic and advanced, until yung pinakalas niya, which is the Naval Science 43 or the Summer Shipboard Training. So we only have one life. This is for everyone. We only have one life, and it's very important that we use that one life to make a difference. And if being a naval reservist can make that difference, then start now, start today, and we're waiting.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for that message, ma'am. And lastly, meron po ba kayo nais pasalamatan, batiin? I will give you time for that, ma'am.
Of course, we would like to acknowledge and thank our very supportive commander po, Major General Joseph Ferros Esquizon, Philippine Navy Marines, who unfortunately will be retiring next month na, sir. So medyo sad ang Team Nabrescom. Also, nonetheless, we have the support of our Deputy Commander, Commodore Lemuel E. Espartinas, Philippine Navy, and our very, very lively Chief of Staff, Captain Geraldine M. Pasha, Philippine Navy MNSA, and to all the officers, enlisted personnel, and sa lahat po ng reservists who are more than willing and happy and always there to support us. Maraming salamat po sa pag-tune in today and sa mga susunod pang activities. Of course, shout out din pala sa 522nd Naval ROTC Unit of the Naval Reserve Center, Eastern Mindanao. Nagpapa-shout out. Maraming salamat po sa support.
At maraming salamat, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, meron pa ba kayong...
Okay. Again, also, I would like to thank our Commander, Naval Reserve Command, Major General Joseph Ferris Soriano Quizon, Philippine Navy Marines, our very supportive as well, Deputy Commander of Naval Reserve Command, Commodore Lemuel E. Espartinas, Philippine Navy, and also our very snappy Chief of Staff, Captain Geraldine M. Pasha, Philippine Navy MNSA. Sir, thank you so much. And also, I would like to give emphasis to our office, the Naval Reservice Management Center, currently headed by our Acting Commanding Officer, Colonel Leo C. Francilio, Philippine Navy Marines, our Commander, Commander Raymond F. Umbak, Philippine Navy, and also to the personnel of Naval Reservice Management Center, other officers of the Naval Reserve Command and enlisted personnel. Thank you so much. And shout out as well also to our to the 250th NROTC unit.
Ayan, maraming salamat, ma'am. And once again, thank you so much for gracing our program, ang inyong Armed Forces. And we would like to shout out also sa ating mga viewers, sa ating mga online viewers na nakantabay ngayon at nakikinig sa ating himpilan ng radyo, sa ating mga radio station partners. Maraming salamat for listening and watching us here dito sa ating programa ng inyong Armed Forces. And especially, gusto ko lang pong i-shout out ang mga viewers po natin sa One Gun Pilipinas. We support reservists. At kay Alan Magabutan, good morning. Good afternoon, rather. And kay Sir De Leon Eric Huya, 22nd NGR, Naval Group Reserve. Tama po, ma'am? Yes. And shout out rin sa ating Naval Reserve NR8, kay Ma'am Joanna Ching na nakantabay. Kay Alex Miranda, 12 Naval Group Reserve na nakantabay ngayon. Maraming salamat. And 112nd Naval Squadron Reserve na nakantabay din. Thank you so much for tuning us. At nakikinig ngayon kay Sir Arturo Nablazo Jr. Maraming salamat. And Team NRMC, Naval Reserve Management Center, Huya, na nakantabay. And God bless sa ating mataga-subaybay kay Sunflower. And watching from Misamis Occidental, 621st, na nakantabay ngayon, Huya. Maraming salamat. And to our viewers nationwide, international man, ay maraming salamat for joining us and gracing us dito po sa aming programang ang inyong Armed Forces. Mga babayan, saan mang dako ng ating bansa ang inyong pong Naval Reserve Command ay patuloy po ninyong maasahan. At pasaludo tayo sa ating mga laang kawal. Ma'am, maraming salamat once again sa ating pong Station Manager, Colonel Franzel Margaret Padilla. Ay kami po nagagalak at nagpapasalamat at saludo po sa inyo pong paghasa, pagsanay at pag-asiste sa ating pong mga reserve na siyang dahilan at patungo sa isang maunlad at mapayapang bansa dahil sa inyo pong pangangalaga. Maraming salamat. At mga bayan, maraming salamat. Antabayaran niyo po kami every Monday, agalap ng alas 4 hanggang alas 5 ng hapon. And we would like to apologize dahil nag-send po tayo. But thank you so much for always listening dito sa ating programa. At muli, ako po ang inyong lingkod, Airman First Class Glanley Matulag Gulchan. At dito po ang inyong programa, ang inyong Armed Forces.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP.